Bought a lathe. It was a good decision, I feel. So this is a Hafco AL50GA. This is basically the one that I was looking at buying. Well, the one that I'd put on my wish list for magical purchase. But the one size down, but it's still plenty big. I think it's 230 over 500, something like that. So it's sort of the lower end, but a step above the Chinese rubbish. This might well be made in China, but it seems to be relatively good quality. Although, what would I know? It's got lots of turny bits. There's one plastic gear, but that's like a safety feature. If you crash it real hard, that strips rather than the world ending. Looks pretty good to me. So I've just been going around getting the worst of the gunk off it. I don't really know whether it's in good nick. It's on. Oh, here, I'll shut this. I'll turn it on. I haven't got the bolt in that, but it spins, does the things. That goes. So I've been going around cleaning up the things that I'm relatively sure are safe and easy to clean up without causing any damage. Just getting chips out of these little grooves and such. I'm going to have to do a bit of research on exactly what needs to be looked after, because I see there's a bit of rust on the ways here. That feels rough up here. So I might need to get some sort of special stone or something to smooth those out a bit. Although they're not really too bad. I just put a bit of whatever oil I had to hand on there to stop the rust getting any worse. And then just gently brushing the gunk off. But yeah, I've got a lot of learning to do. There's the tool pasty cross slidey widget down there. I can't work out how to engage that. I assume that measures how many rotations the lead screw has done, but it appears that this is meant to rotate such that that gear down in there engages with this thread, but nothing I've found rotates it. Oh, it's very exciting to have so much to learn. So in terms of stuff it came with a dial indicator stand with a cheap no-name dial indicator that appears to work. It's a 1/1000th gauge. But then I was looking through the box and I found this one, which has a fancy English looking name on it. And it's a 5.5 But the spring mechanism is a bit, like, it doesn't spring back to its original position. So I think it might be a bit gummy, so I've got to research how to see to that. But I think that's not a cheap dial indicator. Extremely rusty chucks. I don't think that's a problem for me, at least. Steady rest, moving rest, nuts, bolts, safety guard for the chuck. Some tools, some of these, not sure what they are. High-speed steel, so I assume it's some sort of cutting tool, maybe a parting tool. Again, I have a lot to learn. Wee little box with some carbide insert tooling. Odds and ends, tap, M10 by 1.5 tap. I assume that's for holding these little style tools. That's almost definitely a parting tool, I guess. Some high-speed steel tooling in here, some brazed tooling, keys and stuff. What else? Oh yeah, this cool tub. Loads of taps, which I wasn't expecting. So I picked this up off Gumtree off a guy named Bernie, who was excellent, and we used up a bunch of his evening getting it loaded up into the car and trailer, and he was very, very helpful. Some center drills, and then there's the change gears for the lead screw speed. So you know, I've got a lot of work to do, a lot of cleaning, a lot of reading, a lot of research. But I have a lathe, yes. I can do some cool stuff now. In terms of mounting it, it's currently just sitting on the bench. The bench is all 50mm tube square hollow section. It's pretty sturdy. That's some pretty hefty form ply on the top there. But it is not quite as sturdy as I might like. For starters, I'm just going to bolt the lathe down through that edge bit there that ties it into the frame, and then I'll level the frame as best I can. That might be good enough for starters. So there we go. I've got some bags of concrete there. I may cast a concrete pad somewhere to add a bit of inertia to the system, so if I do have vibration problems. I'm not going to be doing anything super heavy duty. Other thing I've got to research is the lubrication schedule. I had a look at the manual yesterday, and it's got like, you got oil here and grease there and do this every day and do that every 100 hours of runtime and so on and so forth. There's a bit of backlash in that. Not so much that you'd see on the camera really. Like, yeah, it's true that this bit is moving. Something that's a little bit concerning is that I don't know if you can see that, but I'm lifting up and down. I'm lifting up on this section here, and you can see a little bit of oil squeezing out of there, a little bit of grease squeezing out of that gap when I lift it up. So it is moving a very small amount. I think I can fix that by adjusting these gibs. Look where I'm filming, to snug up that a little bit. It was really filthy. It had not been well looked after by the previous owner before Bernie. And it looks as though it's still got a bunch of the like factory goo on it, because that's coming off in chips, like flakes of this sort of like varnish. But you know, for a beginner, it's pretty much all you can ask for. I noticed that there's some scratching here, so you can see over here where it's been scraped flat, but then there's also some fairly deep grooves that run this way, so it's some chips have got stuck underneath that and up against that, and then this has sort of ground them against each other, which is not ideal. But hey, I can make some more cool things now. Bye bye.